Should I tell my dad that he's not my dad and his dad isn't his? Honestly, why bother? He's your dad, and you're his daughter, in every way that matters. There is no good outcome for anybody here. And you don't know if your grandmother was sod either. This could open a whole nasty can of worms and for absolutely no one's benefit. I can think of only 2 reasons to do this. The first reason to do this would be if your family is struggling financially. Alaskan natives receive a stipend from the government for a huge variety of reasons resulting from some really active racism and theft in the past. If you're unable to make ends meet, look into the laws and see if you'd benefit. I think it's based on bloodline. The other reason? If you want to connect to the tribe you are from. Or if he would. Then it could be worth telling him. That's it. And they aren't the greatest of reasons either. Don't risk destroying your family or pulling back up something horrible that happened to your grandma that she's managed to forget day to day. Typically, I am on the side of no secrets, but this would be a wild 12 punch that he may not recover from. There is a group called DNA Detectives on Facebook, and I highly suggest you recruit someone from there to double check your work. What do you think he would gain from this information? What might he lose with it? Yeah man. I'd just STFU. Unless you like hurting her dad. Mate. Even if he takes it well. It sounds like he was an amazing parent. Let him just be that. I went down the loophole lol. Assuming that's rabbit hole. This is a tough one. Let me know how it turns out. What is the eye condition? Are you sure that 100% of the descendants inherit it? There are 2 sets of DNA in you. You could have got that gene from your mother. And you sister from your father. Or it could maybe be dormant in you. Or maybe skips generations. He probably knows, or at least has suspected. But regarding his parents, probably not. I probably wouldn't say anything until it comes up by him. If you want to know if he knows, you could always make a comment about an article you read about 23andMe and people discovering secrets. And that even if you discovered he wasn't your biological dad, he's still your dad that you love dearly, but not sure you really want to open that door. Don't. He's your dad. If he doesn't already know, you will shatter his whole world. If it were me, I'd want to know the truth. How do you know he's not your dad? There's no mention of your father taking a DNA test to compare results to. It also sounds like you and your sister used different testing companies. If that's the case, you're not even comparing your DNA to hers. Do not use origins, ethnicity breakdowns to determine relationships. Even full-blooded siblings can have vastly different mixes depending on which mix they got from which parent. And origins, race, ethnicity is a human construct. The body isn't saying it needs this many Asian genes, it that many Native Americans' genes as it's packing up DNA for a permanent eggs because it doesn't classify the genes as belong to a certain group that we created. It's just grabbing random genetic material. Also, those breakdowns are constantly changing as the companies have more data. At one point Ancestry said I was 10% Iberian. Now I'm not. In its latest update I'm suddenly 1% Sardinian. Which is new to me. Unless you and your father both do DNA tests through the same company, you can't say that he's not your dad. Same with your sister if you're not using the same company. And one that will determine relationships based off of the DNA. You can't make that determination. You are the person who can judge your father best. Strangers on the internet cannot know what he would want. And I recommend you do that. If you think your father would want to know, tell him. Make sure to say that you don't care as you said in this post. But tell him, I would want to know. Shocked to see so many support the idea of just not telling him. Ignorance is bliss, but I would always choose to know myself. I would say this is a decision that's going to depend on your dad specifically. Is he the kind of person who would want to know? Or would he rather be left in the dark? None of these comments will be the correct answer for you as we don't know him. So it's up to you to figure out what is best. How about you stop being so narcissistic and selfish? The only person you are worrying about is yourself, and you aren't thinking with logic but emotions. This man raised you and fed you for 18 years, and this is how you are going to repay him. I'm torn because if he finds out and he wants to meet his father, what if it's far too late and his dad is deceased? Sounds like your mother is the person to talk to on this one.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.